What incredible power! Inside Vegeta, he's ferocious! I have no choice! Super Saiyan 3!
So we're getting to this budget deck profile of the new starter leader for the red deck box, Goku. I'm kind of a fan of him, but not super really. I wanted to build decks that were a little more affordable than I normally do. Normally my decks, since I have such a variety of cards, it's easy for me to throw hella high-end cards in there, and sometimes people can't always build them, because basically I throw Kales on anything I can, because fuck it, I have hella Kales when I use them. But I wanted to build decks a little more affordable for players, but also still pretty good with the meta in mind. And I'm actually a fan of this deck. I built this one and I did Pan. I'll probably build another deck after that. But there's two versions of this deck. Every card in here is below $10. So you can look at that. Everything's below 10. I believe the mass hands are below 10. I'm not 100% sure. Technically, some of these cards can be above 10 if you get the foils, which you get non-foil versions. Don't be an idiot. But yeah. And another version of this one has the apes in it. That one, the apes were technically below 10. Honestly, any card that's like at 10 or 11, you could probably buy for like $8 or $9 away from somebody, so it's not really a big deal. But yeah, in my opinion, I do like the Son Goku a little bit more because I'm drawing every turn, while the Pan is built similar to this. I don't always get to draw. Usually think you can draw every time, but I just don't. I don't know. It's just the way I built the deck. But both the decks are pretty good. I did over about 10-15 games with each deck. I only lost a couple times, and usually when I lose with these decks, I usually lose in the beginning with them because I test out a theory on them, and sometimes the theories don't work, sometimes they don't. But they're pretty close. I went against 5 mecha decks with this version, and then 3 mechas with the other one. I lost 2 against the mecha decks, and they were both... one was Veggie, it was actually super fucking close. And the other one were Great Apes. Don't get me wrong, it's obvious I could be going against bad mecha players, technically, or really good ones. I think they're pretty good at playing. Yeah, it's just me. There's also no sideboard for these, but if you really want to run a sideboard with these decks, I can explain what you run for sideboard right now. Maybe 2 more battering lasers, 4 Mufubas, 4 Yajirobes, 2 more Mass Saiyans. So two rings, Nimbus, shit like that. Basically, more negates, more control, things like that. Honestly, this deck is pretty good against aggro. You can even throw Vegetas in there if you wanted to, but not super necessary. Deck's pretty awesome. Honestly, has a lot of versatile searching. But yeah, basically just put a lot more defense in the sideboard, or even more offensive if you wanted to, like another Topo or something, or even actually Jiren. You would definitely want Jiren's in the sideboard. Jiren's a pretty strong card, things like that. But I'll get into the deck profile now. Goku. Red leader, every time he attacks a leader card, draw a card. When he awakens at 4 life, you untap 2 mana, which is actually very good in both versions of the deck. And the other side is that when you're 3 or less life, which is super easy to stay at for a while, gains 5,000. The only thing I don't like about the 3 life thing is that when you're at 3 life, you're almost lethal for your opponents, which kind of sucks, because I did lose to one with that. Against a fucking Ultra Instinct. Swung with the leader, negated it with my Flying Nimbus. Had a huge fucking hand. No more Wiz Coercion, sadly. For Flying Nimbus, I just got like an ape or some Son Goku shit. Didn't really matter. Swung at me with Ultra Instinct and I lost. It kind of sucks that his ability is only really good at 3 life, which I think is dangerous, but whatever. Fuck it, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, then he gains 5,000 at 3 life, and then if he happens to be at 25,000 when he attacks, I am 98% sure that his ability triggers when he attacks. I gain the bonus. He gains double strike, which is not really a big deal with the way I run the deck anyways. But anyway, looking at the deck, pretty standard. We run 4 1-drop Saiyan Kabas. Pretty good against the aggro. I usually only drop 1 or 2 down just because the deck is super aggressive and draws a lot. I don't often need more than that. Pretty good card. Take a life, double damage. You know what I mean? Pretty good. Sometimes I use them as a kill spell, honestly. Because I usually attack my opponent mostly with my leader. I try to use everything else for just like put my opponent down to 3 life, or trying to kill shit. Then 4 Champa's Destructions. I run 4 of those because it's a good card. If you really want to drop this out, you can. I ran 4 of them just because critical, honestly. Not for the critical, I'm stupid. But double strike, for what it's there for. But you can easily swap one of these out for another Topo if you wanted to, or throw another Nimbus in, or another battery laser. Honestly, you could. To me, I like it the way it is. It's pretty solid. There's nothing I really see a need to swap out for it, really. You could, though, find something, but I love it at 4. I usually charge 1 or 2 of them anyways, as soon as I get them, and then I use the next 2. I use my last 1 or 2 to kill with, so it's whatever. 4 Super Combo Vadoses. One of the reasons why I did lose with this deck at first was because I actually forgot Divine Vadoses, because this deck actually technically runs 8 Super Combos, in my opinion. Technically 12 if you count no openings on Goku, but basically 8. This fucking Goku's amazing of a card. I love this card. I wanted to build this deck for a while. I want to build decks with this Goku for a long time. I've just been really lazy about it. But he's really fucking good. I never charge him because why would I? Honestly, in my opinion, he's better than Boo. He's better than Bulma. Because you're still paying 1 mana, but it's any color you fucking want to, and it's on the defense, and you're drawing a card. So it's nice. Like, you pay 1 mana, 10,000 shield, and you're drawing a card. Boo, pay 1 blue. Has to be blue, motherfucker. And it's only 5,000. And it can just kill it before you can combo with it. So this fucking Goku is, honestly, in my opinion, is amazing. I really believe that deck should run this card at 4. If you can, you know what I mean? It's not hard. If you play Boo, you can play... This card's better than Boo, in my opinion. Though Boo, the only Boo's upside is that you can charge it for Blue. That's it. That's the only thing I see as an upside for it. Maybe I'm just a bad player. I don't understand it. But I think I'm a pretty decent player. So I'm pretty sure my understanding of this card is amazing as fuck. But yeah, we'll continue on. 3 Pride of Justice Topos. Pretty nice card. Usually you're only paying for 2 mana. 2 reds. Negate an attack. Because if you're at 15,000, your opponent's at 15,000, or your opponent's at 15,000, then the reduced cost is by 2, which is nice. So 2 reds. I don't often have to get a chance to really use this card. Really because I don't have to really. So yeah. Still pretty good. And when it can kill stuff on tap, which is pretty nice. So I can get rid of combos or small shit. Or I can just swing in for that, put my opponent down to 2 life, which is really nice. 4 Boos. Charge this card a lot. I don't often play this card because I need the blue mana. Most of the time I have like 1 blue, 2 reds, 2 yellows. This deck has a lot of yellow in it, which I like a lot about it. It's tricolor. Should have said that sooner, but yeah, tricolor if you didn't notice it sooner. The Boos are pretty nice. Draw 1 if I have a chance to. Don't super get a chance to play them usually, just because I'm charging other stuff that I need. But it's whatever. It's still a good card if I get a chance to play it. Sensu Beans. Actually, I do play them stuff. Some of them will be like 4 life, turn 4. Pay my only blue, summon, swing with something, combo with something. And then I'll just untap the 2 with Goku's abilities. That's pretty cool. 4 Sensu Beans. I think this card's pretty fucking good right now. I ran out 4 as a defensive option. Because opponent's running a lot of crit right now, the whole Mecha GT thing. This deck was in GT in mind. There's no barrier in this deck, which my last deck had barrier, which pretty good. But there's no barrier in this deck because realistically, if my opponent wants to kill anything, they can. Like if my opponent plays Mecha, I just honestly just swing in, combo a little bit, but not really. And then my opponent just blows shit up on, you know what I mean? Like honestly, I notice a lot of people they'll over combo with the basically just drop KO, just count 1 or 2 things you don't care about. So you know what I mean. Also another thing, if you're going against Mecha, don't keep too many 5Ks on the board, like your Boos or your Bulmas at all. Combo with them a little bit more than you normally would because they'll KO it away. Also, if you're going against Mass Saiyan, don't play anything turn 1, no matter what, because they're gonna fucking crit the shit out of you. So you want to be able to use your Goku to draw a card. You know what I mean. You want to block that critical or your negate. It's, you know what I mean? Don't make that mistake with this deck. Mass Saiyan's so fucking strong with that critical. Always assume they're going to have critical. Make sure you always have something open to block with the Goku or something. Make sure you always can stop at least critical damage, because that can really hurt you with this deck. A lot of things in this deck, the main things are searchable, but you got to be careful. Going on the Whisk Origins, we went 4 of those, because you can always charge 1 or 2 of them. You can always charge 1 of them, or the Boos, you know what I mean? Just charge 1. And then you have 3 others. 7 negates seems like a lot to some people. But it really doesn't get in the way, realistically, because there's so much fucking draw power in this deck. So it doesn't super matter. I can easily get the cards I want out, honestly. You can charge 1 or 2 of them. Realistically, I run 4 of the Blues. That way I can charge them if I see them, so it's not a big deal. 3 Nemesis. I want this card to be at 4, but I run 4 Coercions. Flying Nimbus is an amazing fucking card. Opponent swings in. They basically only get like very few attacks off of this, so it's pretty fucking awesome. Discard a yellow. There's a lot of yellow in this deck. People think, oh, you're not running that much yellow. I never have a problem using Flying Nimbus, honestly. Like it's an amazing card. Fucking run it. That's why I want to build this deck. I want to build this deck with options, with cheap options. That way, newer players don't get just destroyed by Mecha, GT, and Malvisa, and things like that. Next is Planet Vegeta. Amazing card. Run this card at 4 just so I see it often, and I can always charge if I ever don't need it. You have so many options to search out. You can search out your opening Son Gokus. You can search out your I don't care. You can search out your Super Combo Gokus or your Kabas. It's pretty fucking nice. This in the next version though, Planet Vegeta is way better. In that deck. Just because they run a little more apes and things like that. But it's an amazing card, and you know what I mean? It's a nice fucking card. 1 yellow. If you ever draw an extra of them, Bad Wing Laser, which I run 2 of. This card seems bulky at 3. I only want to see 1 or 2 copies of this card. Having 3 copies of this card is bad, in my opinion. There's so much draw power to this deck. I always see it. I don't want to see too much of this card. This deck has so much fucking draw power, like crazy amounts of fucking draw power. That's what honestly. That's why I beat Mecha GT. That's how you beat Mecha decks. People might say, "Oh, you can't beat with this deck." I beat it a couple times. Like majority of the time, I went against the deck. Either half or majority, I won against it. And usually when I lost, it was super fucking close. Battery Laser is an amazing card. It stops their negate. It stops their fucking bloodlust. Honestly, there's nothing really to bloodlust. Realistically, except for your Mass Saiyan or your Kabas. But, you know, it's a fucking amazing card. That too. Like, if I could run this card at 4 and see it when I wanted to see it, I'd run at 4. But I see it too much to run it more than 2. So, yeah. Then 4, no Sunny Open Gokus. With the way the game is now, I don't often need this many. I usually only need 1 or 2 of them if I do end up playing it. But I run 4, that way I see it. I have a Planet Vegeta target, and I have a yellow charger. It's just more yellow, realistically it is. It's a way to self-awaken. And it allows you to get more cards in your hand, and it allows you to have more yellow. So that's what it's for. So your opponent, you know what I mean? Honestly, I see people using this on the defensive. I don't see why you use it on the defensive if you're taking the damage anyways, unless it's critical. Use this on the offense. That's just my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's swinging at you. Oh, I'm just going to use Son Goku to take the damage. We can take the damage anyways. It's a waste of card in my opinion, but hey, that's just me. 4 Youthful Bulmas. Pretty awesome card. Another Boo card. I play this a lot more than I play Boo, because, you know what I mean? Because usually I have 2 yellows anyways by turn 4. Sometimes I don't need to play blue. Like, realistically, the main colors of the deck are yellow. Realistically, yellow, honestly. I need yellow more than anything. Just because yellow I have more options with. Blue is nice to have because I do have Senzu Beans and Whisk Corrosion. But just yellow is just, I don't know. I just need it more. It feels like I always have 2 yellow for anything else. But, you know. Good, nice draw card. And then 2 Mass Saiyans. It's a strong card for removal, and it's a 1 mana double striker. I've thought about, since there's not many black options, and I didn't want to have too many. Like if you do have the Trunkses available, I could maybe see running those. But honestly, the deck is pretty solid as is. Probably a few changes here and there that need to be done based on your playstyle. I know the Senzu Beans are kind of expensive right now. Maybe the Mass Saiyans are kind of expensive. But in my opinion, this version of the deck is pretty cheap. It's the cheaper version of the deck, and it's still pretty fucking solid to me. If you don't have Senzu Beans, I wouldn't really play blue in my opinion. Or Mafubas, honestly, but it's not that good. Like, if you're playing blue, you have to be willing to get the Senzu Beans somehow. And honestly, my first Senzu Beans, someone gave me a playset when I was first starting out, which was pretty fucking cool of them. Ultimately, I actually gave them to one of my buddies. I believe I gave it to one of my buddies. Yeah, I gave it to my buddy Brayden, who's not my friend anymore. Shit happens. Oh, I didn't give them to him. I gave him a really good deal on them. They were like $4 or $5 at the time. I just basically sold them like $2, $1 or $2, only because I needed shit off him anyway. So I was like, you know what I mean. And I was still starting out the game. Could I have given them for free? Yeah, I could have. But I still need some stuff off of him. You know what I mean. I do really miss that guy. Shit happens. You know what I mean. But yeah, if you're gonna play blue, run Senzu Beans. Because you need them. You know what I mean. If you can't get Senzu Beans, I really wouldn't try to run blue. Unless like. I don't mind, but Senzu Beans is just a good card. Going on to the next deck. Give me a second. Let me click on it. So the deck is very similar. It's just organized differently. Goku Leader does the same exact thing. 3 Flying Nimbuses as before. 2 battery lineages before, 4 Bomals as before. The Plant Vegeta is better in this version because you are running the apes, if you see right here. We did drop down opening Son Goku to 3 because honestly, with the 4 extra Saiyans in the deck and the 4 extra yellows, you don't super need this card at that high anyways. Still 4 Kabbas. 3 Destructions, we did drop that down from 4 to 3 because we don't super need. Honestly, it's really a spot holder. It could be for anything else, as I said before. But we do definitely need it at 3 because we do run the critical Vegetas. So that's pretty fucking good. So critical. Double Strike is pretty fucking awesome. And we did drop Turbo down to 2 because we do have blockers now, so we don't need the heavy negations. And actually, I did lie before. We technically had 10 negates. Yeah, we had 10 negates. I lied. Because we had 3 Nemesis, 4 Coercions, and 3 Turbo. So 10 negates. I'm a liar. I apologize. Still 4 Boos. 4 Senzu Beans, 3 Coercions. As I said before, since we have more since we do have blockers, we don't need negates as often. 3 is still pretty good. 4 Vados as assistants. No, Divine Vados aid. My bad, I'm fucking stupid. Super combo card. Honestly, this deck runs 8 combo cards, as I said before. These Gokus right here. The 2 Mass Saiyans and the 4 Vegetas. In the sideboard, you could run more apes if you wanted to. Honestly, the way I would sideboard is really depend on your locals, but you definitely want to have Mecha GT in mind. So like Mufubas are pretty good. Honestly, definitely if you're going against both of these decks, I would run 4 Mufubas in the sideboard. That way you can get through your opponent's ape shit. Like it's fucking annoying as shit. The barrier. Honestly, the one thing you definitely want to kill is their King Vegeta before they have a chance to evolve it. There's no real way to do that realistically, but if you can, I've seen some decks have a handful of 10Ks and just fucking dump them because of that Vegeta. But anyways, the 4 Vegetas are really nice because they're critical. I often don't even care about the effect realistically. You can look if you wanted to, but you're only running 4 apes, so the odds of you finding something are slim, but they're still there, and you can swing in. Untap them because you're Planet Vegeta, which is really fucking nice. That's why this deck, Planet Vegeta, is a lot better than the last one, because you have the fucking apes. The apes are amazing. You can drop them on turn 4, swing at your opponent, awaken your leader, get the 2 mana back, usually yellow-green. Under yellow-blue, there's no green in this deck, I'm fucking stupid. Yellow-blue, and then just fucking crit your opponent down. Honestly, it's pretty fucking good. It's a solid play. And with Senzu Beans in there, that's what I like about this deck as well, is that the Senzu Beans allow more plays. Not only are they really defensive play, they're really good offensive play. Because it allows you to nearly tap out with blue and swing in. But you do have to be careful though. I made the mistake one time with this deck. Is that don't try to dig for the Senzu Beans. It happens to me sometimes. But like Flying Nimbus is a very powerful card as well. So honestly, having Senzu Bean and Flying Nimbus in the same deck is fucking amazing. And with Coercions, like try to combo cards more effectively. Don't try to play your Boos, honestly. Always keep 1 blue open. It happens sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I did my mistake. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I tapped my blue for a Boo. It fucked me. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I do make mistakes sometimes. But heads up, though, I'm not feeling sick anymore. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel in this video. Also, a description at the bottom will be of the giveaway. For the giveaway, I know it was a super long video. I apologize about that. But all you have to do is like that video, subscribe, and then comment anything you want to. And then if we get 200 subscribers, I'll give away those 2 decks to somebody. And then if we get 500 subscribers, I'll give away the 2 boxes. Probably going to do a month from that video, honestly. Maybe till the end of the month. I don't really know when I'm going to do it. But at least at the end of the month to a month from that video posted. I don't know. I'm not really getting that many subscribers, but hey, it's free shit, guys. Have a good one.